What's good with y'all, man? We back.
Back for another one.
Chocolate Kobe, Skitty Man Hube, Hardwood Classic. Bam! What's up, brothers? How y'all been?
Good. Chilling, buddy. Chilling.
It's
been a while. Missed y'all, boys.
I'm tired of it just being three amigos though. Like we gotta figure it out, man. I know we missing one, but
missing Dub.
Yeah, big R Dub we missing. But shout out to Ron doing this business, man. But three amigos, we here. Happy Black History Month too. What do you mean?
Yeah, Happy Black History Month, brother.
Technically, I know it's not Black History Month, but
it's like all year. I feel like
should be all year.
Should be all year.
I mean, when do you turn off your black? 365. Wow, I see he cooking a little bit. He's trying to cook. He's trying to cook.
Can't really take this off.
Yeah, bro. 365, 24/7, man.
Yeah.
So, but that is something to think about, though. It's only a month, and it's the shortest month.
Shortest one.
There's always something behind that, right? So,
Nice.
but in the spirit of Black History Month, still, in Black History Year, goddamn it, we could talk about it. But as you see, I can't turn it off either.
I do like that shirt.
I'm a black man, 24/7.
Shout out to who made that shirt.
Yeah, bro. So this is a student organization back at PV. Yeah, man. It's kind of legit. So before there was Greeks on the Yard, we had like a nonprofit that pretty much. I mean, we was mentors. We was community service. We were doing. I mean, we did a lot. So it stands for Brothers Leading and Cultivating Knowledge. Yeah, no, I represent, man. I love it. And again, this is when I was in college, and it's not like an application. You gotta kind of know the people and be seen, or know people and be doing the right things behind the scenes. So like, get just whatever you can think of to be proactive, more positive on campus, in the community, etc. And again, this is before we had Greeks, before anything was on the Yard. So, but serving leaders, again, leading, cultivate. We used to host the graduation ceremonies at PV. So usually there's like security and butlers and all that jazz and ushers. Nah, it was all us, man. Just niggas on the street, bro.
That's live, though.
It's cool, but you gotta think about like graduation with thousands of friends. Yes. Yes. And it's hot. You on the hill. Mind you, had uniform, blazers, button down, ties, and khakis. So you out there getting assaulted, it's hot. We had grown ladies, like women, pushing, fighting. Because there's capacity limits, right? So you can't get in to the ceremony, and then they trying to push through. They want to see their kids graduate, but it was legit though, man. I really appreciate and value the core at heart with this organization, man. And even like now, you walk around such a powerful shirt and this kind of acronym. I'm a black man. Just on my way down here, I stopped at some gas stations and hey, I like your shirt, man. You black man. We're black on top. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. I ain't get to explain it to him all the time, hey. 365, but so I ain't get to break it down to him. But I'm like, I feel proud being black, not just black, but being a brother who leads and cultivates knowledge. What's good, man? Why you just be cooking like this, man? Talk to me. How you feeling, bro?
You didn't have to do that though.
Why you have to do that? Oh, see, he liked that because when I looked at you and said black, he's like, oh yeah. Just like earlier we was talking about. It's another thing to talk about black, but you notice there's always like a colorism thing behind. Amongst black people, right?
Yeah.
How y'all feel about what's some point of views y'all got on that, man?
I mean, I don't really have like too much of. So like I use it in more of a frying sense. Like, I mean, you light skin and everything, but we all black. So I know that there's different variations of, black light skin and things like that.
The scenarios.
And stuff like that. So like, and even me, I got a nickname of Burnt and things like that. Like, and I've never really taken offense to it. Cause it's like, I mean, I love my chocolate skin. Like, I don't have a problem with it.
Come on now.
But either way it goes, it's just like, I use that as more of like a term of like, I'm just like frying you or some sort. And I know that others maybe take it more to heart and things, but I've never really like looked at it as a bad thing, like, so I mean, that's my experience with it. I mean, I know others have like different experiences with it, as far as like in the black community. Cause like, so like I've dated women in the past that were more light skinned and they'd be like, oh, I don't feel like I'm in the darker skinned community because I'm light skinned. So I'm looked at differently. And I don't know. amongst guys, I feel like it's not as much. Maybe not true, but maybe it's just amongst me. So
that's a good point.
What's your take here?
Amongst guys, man.
That's a good point. What's your point of view then on that topic?
It was crazy. I didn't really experience colorism until I like moved to Killeen. So I realized from living in Austin to Killeen, like that light skin shit was really that shit was true. Excuse my language, but yeah, they took that serious when it comes to light skin.
Yeah.
And I didn't really look at that like in Austin. We was all black.
Yeah,
but
like
so,
stuck together.
It was like
already. Yeah, okay. Because that's a good point. Because I mean, even us in high school, like, we had our own little crew. We had our blacks on top.
True.
Kind of had our own crew of dark skinned, more melanated folk, right?
This is true,
right?
And it really is, yeah. But it's like it's not like we was fighting for our lives.
Yeah,
But it was just acknowledging that. Because, like you said, there's people who feel like they're lighter skinned, that they're more popular, or they look better, right? Or they got the better qualities of life, or genes. I know that was a big thing when you part about girls. I know a lot of people would speak about, I don't want to date a dark skinned man because I don't want my babies to come out,
right?
Or vice versa. I didn't want to be a light skinned because I didn't want my babies to be this. I wanted them to be mixed and good hair. That's another thing.
Right.
That's another thing people be tripping out. I should have brought that up. With my hairstyle and waves and stuff, I tell you, so many people want to tell me I'm not black, that I'm mixed with something. I done heard it all. So first it's just saying,
you mixed with something.
oh, I swear, I'm telling you, bro, they will force it.
Were you Dominican?
It'd be Dominican, it'd be French, it'd be Panamanian, anything. No facts. I got my haircut a couple weeks ago. Absolutely, South Carolina, bro. What you mean? I got a haircut a couple weeks ago. Came home, I'm spinning like always, flooding the house, flooding the streets. And then my wife came home, and she's like, "Yeah, does you see my cut, babe? What you think?" She's like, "Oh yeah, you look Dominican." And I'm thinking like, "No, you do not say that, Dominican." And I'm like, "That's crazy." But the light hit me. The light must have hit me well at the time. Well, he's eating this up. This is talk about colorism right here. First of all, he on that couch away from us. Every time I talk about black or dark skin, he just go, "He can't eat."
Bro,
this is what we had to go up with, right? Shit like this.
I feel like I will say.
I have like a dark sense of humor, so
I'm cutting up.
I will say, like, nowadays it's not as much. I definitely feel like us chocolate brothers are winning, but I will say as well. Definitely, like, maybe like early 2000s, late 90s, it was like a light skin versus dark skin thing.
Oh,
it's like light skin guys had this stereotype of being more emotional, and I guess you could say good looking. I don't think so, but good looking and shit like that. But then you got your dark skin guys that are like more rugged and shit like that, and seen as in a different light. But nowadays it's not. I don't feel like it's not like that as much anymore.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It's
pretty washed together.
I think now, because like you said too, there's a lot more like advocacy for like dark skinned men doing stuff, right, or getting awards, or just being in the limelight. So I think we are past that now. But growing up for sure, like that you had to learn quick to start roasting or have your jokes ready, because it was stuff I never even heard of. I'm thinking like, I said, "Oh, that's a fry." Oh, and then it clicked like, "Oh, that's what you mean?" Like
give me one.
I ain't getting no examples.
Whoever called, I remember on the scoop. I remember. So I used to wrestle.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I hear you.
I used to wrestle, and I remember there was this this kid named, I think his name was John. And if I forget your name, I'm sorry, but I think his name was John. We were all frying each other at the back of the bus. This is what you kind of did. And he called me Count Chocula. And when I tell you, that shit was like the funniest dark skull joke like I've ever eaten. Count Chocula is actually a pretty funny joke. So I've never been like I've never heard like Count Chocula is pretty funny.
That's crazy.
Hey yo, that's pretty funny.
I was there.
But
I'm not gonna give the fans any more ammo for this. Because this
Bro,
is
you got to what's crazy you heard, bro.
Nah, I ain't get none of that. So, but as a good reference though, like you said, black now, we're more united. I'm gonna start with you, Hugh. What's one thing you're proud about being black, or proud for because you're black? What's one thing?
Oh man, because we're the most hated and the most loved group of people at the same time.
I should rephrase it. Say one thing you love about being black, and
that's what I'm saying.
And repeat your answer for me then.
Because we're the most hated but the most loved at the same time.
Now that's a good summary, because I mean, and it sucks because, bro, you can go outside and get the ugliest looks, or try to be in a business meeting or have your resume and they look at you and then poof. But then turn around, they turning on either your song or somebody who raps like that, or they watching movies, or they emulating everything they see from our culture and community. So that's a good answer. What about you, Bert?
Sometimes we also, just to piggyback off your point, sometimes I've heard, I haven't been to these foreign countries yet, but like with my work, I work with people like overseas and things like that. And so they tell me like, if I was to ever go to like Romania and things like that, they would tell me that I'm looked at more as like an amazement and a spectacle because there's not a lot of Black people there.
Yeah.
So yes, there are some countries where it's like, oh dang, like you're Black, like oh my gosh,
You're exotic.
you're exotic.
Yeah.
Or there's other places like I heard, like at least this is what I heard. I've never been, like Egypt, where they don't mess with Black people. I think, or some like they don't like Egypt. Like don't mess with Black people like whatsoever. Like it's not like a pro-Black place that you want to go. You can go there, but I've just heard there's just like a lot of barriers and things like that. But to answer your question, for me anyway, being Black is just being strong. It's
I like that too.
I like how it's just like, I feel like anyway, when I go into a room, there's a presence that I bring with being like African American. And it's just like, I take that on my chest and I wear that shit like it's fucking gold every day because it's just like, it's very few of us, especially in many different forms of work, but in my line of work, and it's just like, dang, like we're almost perceived one way, but when you can like break that barrier and be like, no, I'm actually this way, it's like a whole nother world that you unlock. So I like the feeling of like that. It's almost like a superhero cape. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel
a Black superhero cape.
I like the mindset. What was you about to?
I was going to say, like that random feeling where you're working somewhere and there's not that many Black people there. And you cross that one random Black person and y'all already have that.
Hey, what's up?
It's like a head nod.
Yeah.
It's
it's like we never seen each other because we already, and it's like, what's good? It's good. It's just like,
it is lit though.
It is, that.
I think so. My answer would be, I like the diversity amongst ourselves. That's what I really love about it, because, and I should say diversity, and also like the way we can adapt to everything in any situation. I think that's really, really keen, because I mean, let's take it back, boys. I mean, let's not be scared about it. I mean, we don't even have the origin of our last names, right? Like we've been deprived of such in that nature. We were forced for, slavery. We had all this against us, even after slavery, right? It wasn't, oh, here's your golden ticket. Now you're equal with us. Thanks for a board. Nah, it was like, man, here's some grass. Here's a little bit of wood. Y'all figure it out. We still eating good up the street, but y'all good now. So for us to be able to still come together, galvanize that moment, and have the spirit, the faith, the structure. Because think about our family as a whole. Single parents, household, or joint. No matter what, you still have, if it's just your mom or dad, or if it's both, you have a strong foundation right there. So I just love how we're able to do that amongst ourselves. And then again, if it is athletes, if it is actors, if it is writing books, if it is doctors, or it's endless of activities that Black people have done. We can do it all.
Sure.
We really can't do. There's nothing that I feel like we, as a Black person, is limiting us, because we can do it all.
Right.
And we didn't have any handouts. Bro, it's like to be set back, because even if you say after slavery and all that, we're still 400 years behind, regardless, just because of the incident. But it's like, sure, we had first Black president, right? The first Black vice president. So many accolades, right? And just. We just keep growing. We keep going and going. So that's kind of that's what I kind of love about it. Easy. So, and the only thing I would contest though with that, how we are still strong and adapt and whatnot. But once we do get big, I ain't gonna lie. There's some times where I feel like the big name billionaires and whatnot, it's not as a shared pot, or like, hey, let's bring all these people up too. I feel like once you get to some level of status, there is some Black folks that are still like, luckily I made it in. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm good. Let me do it. Let me change my, not necessarily change like how I act and behave, but let me just ignore where I came from and please you and behave how you want me to behave, and not even thinking about not even necessarily the hood, just not even thinking about where I came from. So like getting brainwashed. so to speak. So that part I don't like because I still feel like in today's world, if you do make it big or you get out to the big leagues to say quote unquote, that it's opportunity for them to either tear you down if you don't like leave your blackness away, I guess you can say, or leave your culture versus the success or hey, you trying to get your mama a new house, right? Well, we need you to do this, some scandalous shit, or hey, you said you want to be a millionaire. All right, you can't hang with your boys. You can't talk like that. You can't say y'all no more or whatever, right? So how y'all? What's your point of view on that? Dude? How you feel? How you feel about that?
I feel like so, especially on this topic of like celebrities and just like in general, if you quote unquote make it, giving back to your community, I think that's a slippery slope. And the reason that I say that is because, for me, if I was to ever get to that when I get to that upper echelon, I am going to manifest. I am going to give back to my community, but
talk that shit.
It'll be after me and mine.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like at a certain extent, what am I working for? What am I doing this for? Like anything that has great value comes great sacrifice. So if I'm sacrificing long nights trying to build our YouTube channel and things like that, we pop off, get 1 million subscribers. Okay, well, yes, I do want to give to that next generation, that next community and things like that, but I just got to make sure mine is set in. And I feel like whenever there are celebrities that do go back, and again, I don't know this for sure, this is just what I've seen in documentaries. When they do go back to the community, sometimes givers don't know when, givers can say, I can give up to give, but takers don't know when to stop taking. Because they'll keep taking.
So that's a good point too.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, at what point am I not empowering you to do better as a community and things like that? And on top of that, I'm only one man. And I'm not saying I'm not giving back to my community, but where the hell is the damn government and everything else that's supposed to, I know that's a whole other topic for this, but like, where is all of those resources to help those? I'm always going to be down for our people and things like that. But it's just like, where is all those other resources? So why do I have to be Superman, quote unquote? You know what I'm saying?
Look, if y'all watching now, he just talked about it. 1 million subscribers, man. Y'all stop, like, subscribe, follow. Yes. We at about 72, man. So get us to 100. We gonna get to 1 million. But, man, I think if we get to 100 subscribers, y'all wanna do like a raffle or something? Like,
we gotta do something. We're gonna do something.
Hey, man, so
subscribers.
We 28 away. So if y'all get up, drop in, like, subscribe, tell your friends, your families, and we culture, man. We educated. We get you right, but. We'll throw in some type of raffle or something, man. I don't know. That's why I get them boys excited. But what's your point of view, Hube, after Burnt finished? What's your stance on kind of that scenario too? Like you said, I think Burnt's good segue is once you make it to the top, or in our situation, getting to the top, absolutely feed your family, got to get them right. Everyone who or in your pocket, right? Everyone who's supporting you, you and yours. But it's that blueprint. We talked about that earlier. It's that blueprint. I like that. I like that word. As far as, hey, this is how I did it. I can't necessarily hold everyone's hand and drag you with me, but here's a blueprint. And it's not just hey, here's my scratch work. You figure it out, piece it together, and then come back to me. It's like, hey, no, this is it. I know we can get something done. I just don't have the time or resources. But hey, start here. Get 70% there, and then the rest is butter. But I think that's a good segue. So, what's your point of view then, Hube, on that scenario still?
Once people make it,
yeah, and then not necessarily leaving a blueprint or is that something often seen just in our community? Because that was how I started. I felt like it was more often seen in the Black culture, even though we do a great job independently or just accolades and still striving for the best. But I still think we leave a lot of our people behind. We're not united. I mean, it's obviously not United States, but it's like even as like the Black people we roam around now, I feel like some already have that like I need to be better than him, or I need to be better than that person, or they're on the streets, or they're in some lower position than me. I need to be better than that Black person. Whereas it's not like, hey, let's you and I get together and show these other folks what time it is, right? Or something like that. So that's kind of how I was segueing.
Oh man, I don't know. I can go. I got mixed feelings about it because
I want to hear it.
I feel like our culture, we do that because I feel like I don't know, like in that era, like the 80s, 70s, I don't know, like the drug era is like drug era, like everybody wanted to be the best man, and it's like
Best drug dealer, son. You trying to say keep it real? I mean that. Every show we watch, that's how it's based on, though.
You know, that's how. Yeah,
That's every TV show is about something. That's a solid point.
Especially in the 80s.
Yeah, every show is like everybody wants to compete and be the best person and be the first person, like the only person. So I think it's just that. And another thing, like I don't know.
You know, I will also say it's a slippery slope when you're saying giving back to the community, because again, me personally, I am not going to just give money away, right?
Yeah,
So like I'm thinking of like as we grew up, Tommy Harris, what did he do?
He gave it that museum.
He built a community center, right? Which in turn
that was fine.
had the community unite because we was hooping up there and things like I feel like I would do something like that. Like not even in the sense of like as small, not small, but like a turkey drive or something like that. I would build something to where I can get people to come together and congregate through that versus, I'm just going everybody line up and I'm gonna give you $100 or I'm gonna pay for your groceries or something like that. Something that's quick, instant to me is like, you gonna eat up those groceries and go right back to square one. You know what I'm saying? That Tommy Harris Center is still there to this day. People, events, all types of things are held in that Tommy Harris Center. So it's like that's something that I look at just like, okay, that's more beneficial for the community versus just handouts, if you will, like a STEMI check or something like that.
So is the question is what would I do if I become a millionaire, or what's the actual?
So not even that. We was just kind of explaining it and went into detail. It was just still, I was saying that I feel like once you're in that level, or even if you're climbing the ranks and getting success, I feel like it's not a lot of either, let's say, breadcrumbs left behind for the next crew or blueprint, so to speak. And then I got something to piggyback too. So your example was good. I like that because you giving out money to people on the street. Yeah, they like it. They just see it as a money gift. They can come back, where my money at. But going back to what I initially called out, Black Brothers Leading and Cultivating Knowledge on campus, like mentorship programs, resume building, interview sessions. So it didn't hit me. So again, I've been out of school for a minute, but it didn't hit me till a couple of weeks ago. One of my homegirls was in town in Austin, and she was for South by Southwest and whatnot. And I know they were talking about like, my name came up, right? But it was so much about like, oh man, back at school, man, he helped me with this and that, my resume building. We had sessions about that. And all of it's true. It was just something that I was like, I remember that, but it was like, damn, that was kind of like, in my head, I was like just locked in to do whatever I could to help these young cats in the streets. Because first of all, HBCU, going to Prairie View A&M, and it's not like I had the recipe already because I was still trying to learn it myself. Yeah, I was still trying.
But you were still giving the knowledge that you already know.
Exactly, and it wasn't like money handouts directly, so to speak, but it was like
knowledge. It's very.
What I said, what's the CK I just said? Cultivating knowledge. So I'm thinking like, yo, we literally had, and it was all of us. We had our own like secret meetings and stuff. It was G14. We had all the meetings in the back. Like, all right, we need to set these interview sessions up, and it wasn't just with Black. It was also with my engineering societies and things like that, because they paved the way. That's what they made the importance of GPA, what classes to take. Because I remember we talked about this in another episode, as far as like bigger schools not gonna really give you that curriculum, i.e. blueprint to the right classes, right? And then you finally get the classes, you don't have enough students or friends above you to leave those breadcrumbs. So I'm saying all this is tracking is how. So it's not necessarily like you said the money part of it, but even something on that. So let me fast forward. Just as my birthday weekend, I was out in the streets and I seen my boy from school again, same class as the homegirl I was talking about. Bro, he lit up. Woods, my boy, what's up, OG? Blah blah blah. We OGs now, so OGs now. So he's like, man, what's up, my boy? And he was with somebody, and of course I didn't know him. But he was just like, man, hey, this is my boy, man. We did this together. He helped me do that. And I'm like, oh shit, I appreciate it. But I'm lit. But I'm like, damn, this is a lasting impression where I feel like I can check a mark and saying like, hey, I left some type of blueprint or breadcrumbs for, because there was 2 years below me. Yeah, two classes below me, engineering majors as well and stuff. But it's like we had to fight Because when we was in school, I mean, bro, I wasn't a 4.0 student. I got a degree, but it's not a 4.0.
You know what the crazy thing is? It's an engineering degree.
Oh, facts. Absolutely.
That's
what you mean. Hell, you mean. Exactly.
And a 2.3 in engineering is better than a 4.0.
Hell yeah.
You know that wasn't my GPA either, though.
But no.
I know. But that was kind of random. He said 2.3.
No, but I was just saying, because even a 2.3, like, in that degree is better than something that's like a 4, but you know.
Because that's how like curves and stuff happen. Like you get you got a 40 on one of the engineering tests. That's like I'm not gonna say it's like a 70, but it gets curved to where it's like a 60 or 70, and every point motherfucking counts. Or every motherfucking point counts.
I will say
for the record, 3.2 graduate.
I will say at least
reflect those niggas.
I will say at least in like from what I've seen on Instagram and shit like that, like there are a couple more programs that are like Blueprint, but where we come from, no.
Oh yeah.
There's not too many.
That was like
unless you make it for sports,
bro.
They was the only guys that are like coming back and like helping. I wouldn't say that we have like a, not off the top of my head.
It's not even that big of a following either.
It's just like,
because once you get in it's like, because you tied down, right?
I can't say growing up from Austin and East Side Austin, there was this program called East Side Story. So it was this program that actually did help Black kids in Austin.
So that's good though.
Yeah,
especially
so
in Austin.
so it was on East Side, obviously East Side.
Do you know the demographic in Austin? Like, because I always feel like Austin's more.
As of right now,
well, yeah, I guess right now.
The demographic of Austin because of Black people is like only 9% or 10%.
Okay, so that's about.
Can we check that? What's the demographic in Austin?
Yeah.
Can we check that?
That's a good point.
Bro, I feel like we are definitely
now it's lower, but back when I was like in the 2000s,
we're probably
late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
Hispanics outdo us. What's the other ones? There's like a crazy community in Round Rock. Are they Indians? Indians.
Yeah.
Asians outdo us.
That's why we say Austin program
because it's a lot more.
But back when I grew up though, like late 90s, early 2000s, the Black community was way bigger.
And you said East Side.
Just the East Side.
Why
East Side, North, every East Side.
Every East Dallas.
MLK.
I thought South Dallas was hood.
It is too.
What reason?
South Dallas. South Dallas is too.
East Side and South Side.
But that's what's East Killeen? What's East Killeen? What's the East Side of Killeen?
East Side of Killeen?
Because downtown Killeen is already different than most downtown. But what's East Side of Killeen?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like towards Heights and shit?
That's Heights and shit.
That's towards Heights.
See how we're inverse? Because Heights ain't no hood. That's inverse.
Heights ain't no hood.
It's crazy. But even our downtown's not a
Heights would be what? Glen?
I think it's just the way Killeen was just built, how it's set up.
True. And then
I think that's the reason.
Then it's a spillover from the military base. So
right.
That's what I like to say.
Is that this year?
What's the zoom in on that for me? I can't.
The 2021. That's 7%, 8%.
Is there?
It's got to be less of us now, bro. I don't even feel like there's more.
I think that's a 1%. Oh, there you go.
7.5. 7.5.
So it was like you said.
We're gonna round it up to 8.
So if that was 4 years ago, 2020, 3 years ago.
What is that in 2000 though? What's that?
So yeah, but it's still like you said, it's low. You said 9 and it's dropped to 7 something. So it's just the fact that there's a program for that size of percentage is already baffling. Then
listen, I tell y'all now, I work in tech. And there's less than 2% of us in that. So there's not a lot of us. So I know that demographically in Austin in general, with technology being on the forefront, it's that in 2022 right there too. At the end. But yeah, I know there isn't a lot of us. So,
and I also want and that's a good point with programs. Again, I think my emphasis on this conversation here is the blueprint or the trail.
Yeah.
So, and I wear this shirt again. I want to also give an example. I'll give you a floor real quick. I also want to give more of a spiel of kind of what they do, because Blacks they're still on campus. They're still in the yard.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was just talking to their Instagram. I don't know who owns it now or the president, but we're trying to get like an alumni chapter and all that. But again, it's us though. Like it's and it's RIP to the GOAT, one of our first advisor. Man, he passed away. But smooth cat, man. He had a softer voice. But he was smooth cat, man. That was like that gave us the blueprint. And then there's a similar program for girls. They're called Purple Jackets. The same spill for Black that it is with Purple Jackets. But I want to read y'all some here as far as the goals and philosophy of this organization, man. Because again, I really value this group and what they carved out for me to help leave a blueprint, a trail. And then I mean, hell, it's like when you learn something, they always say when you learn something, you're able to like teach it, or you maybe learn something and like repeat it by teaching it, then that's how you're able to retain it even more. Yep. So me learning shit and then like, hey, okay, this is what I learned. Hey, this is what I learned. This is what I learned, y'all. And then I'm in the field, they in the field, because some of us used to intern together. So I'm like, we was all kind of in the same atmosphere. But this is what I want to read. So in all colleges and universities, there's a steady decline in young men attending college. This is particularly prominent in men of color. Attached with this decline, there's often a negative image of laziness and delinquency associated. We as Blacks strive to improve the world we live in and make a positive impact on the lives of all we encounter. Also, we strive to combat any negative image or stereotype with a positive, well-rounded image for other generations of young men to look up to. So again, me giving y'all those examples and kind of like just spilling out how I felt and how I feel like that's my key to helping out the community is this one-on-one with our goals and philosophy. And again, I had to read it, but bro, this was back in, I think I got inducted in 2013. This whole ceremony, everything. No facts. So you know Brooks is in there. James Brooks.
Shout
out to Brooks.
Shout out to Brooks.
My boy, you already know. Sir J. McVicious. D-Rob, you know D-Rob. You met D-Rob before.
Shout out.
It's some other people y'all probably know. Oh, Malik. Y'all remember Malik, my boy Malik.
Shout out Malik.
Yeah, my boy Malik's in it too. Dwayne, or some other cats too y'all haven't met. But they was in it before. Some of them was in it before me. So like me and Brooks got nominated, or we got inducted at the same time. But even now, y'all, if y'all see Brooks or talk to Brooks or see kind of his social media too, he's locked in, dialed in. I mean,
so cool.
First of all, he's talented always, and then like just how we able to govern ourselves, man. So I really like that aspect, or my way of trying to give back. So it's not even necessarily the money part of it, right? I'm not a billionaire, millionaire. Yeah. Just a thousandaire, right? That's all. Right. That's all. But still, hearing the feedback and those responses, I'm like, oh man, this shit worked.
You know, it's pretty awesome, bro. You know, I used it, and just to piggyback off of that, that's something that's very key for, especially a young man that needs guidance and things like that. You know, one of the things that I say even now, I don't think this is the only route, because obviously if there's things like that, those programs out there for what you guys are creating and building and things like that, if a lot of kids can get into that, especially our African American. But I used to say that same thing about military. And again, it's more or less not necessarily like, oh, I'm in the military, like I have to do everything that they say. It's just the structure that it gives a young man to tell you like, okay, yes, they will discipline you in the aspect of making sure that you do everything that they say. But there's key instances in where those things become imperative to as you are growing and things like that. Yeah. It's the finer details in life and growing as a man. And so it's just very key when you have programs like what you guys are creating, or again, military, and just overall. I know that there's other programs, and there's room for opportunity for us to even maybe create something very similar to something like that, because there's never not enough teaching. And again, what it means to me, to circle all of it back to what you were saying, just being Black and things like that. I know for me, I more so didn't get into any program. Again, hindsight is 20/20, wish I would have, but I did see Black excellence with my grandfather, with my uncles and things like that, the way that they worked and things like that. So I knew the work ethic, like you had to work hard and things like that, but it's just a different way when somebody's teaching you that same blueprint, like you were saying.
And they look like you.
How to do those things. Yeah,
like
overall,
it's hard
to look at me.
Yes. It's hard to be like someone who doesn't look like you or understand the limitations. Because, bro, I'm telling you, like, even it goes back to like the hairstyle, bro. Like, already your skin and how you look, but I freaking got. I used to have a juice cut, and I remember everybody, you got to cut that wood. You got to cut that off. You ain't gonna get no job. But them saying that, I was like, nah, F that. I'm gonna get a job. It ain't because of my hair. It ain't because I'm fly as hell. It's like, look at this resume. Talk to me, or understand is where I'm coming from. I like to say it's not like the outside. It's always the inside. The inside of a person. It's not about what your color is, your skin tone, how tall, short. In most aspects, right? Of course, if it's a physical sport or physical,
absolutely,
right. But it's like it's the inside. So I'm like, bro. And I ended up getting the internship and the job with the juice cut. Now I did cut my hair later down the road because I had a mentor, that looked like me, who went to the same school. I was like, all right, man, hey, I feel what you did or whatever, but just listen to me. Just listen. So instead of, me being a hard head or like, whoever told me that first, F them, I'm coming for them. Listen, young man, do it this way. Just sit back and listen. Yeah, no, and then, but it was good guidance. Somebody looked like me, that act like me. So I'm like, and what was you about to say?
Oh, no, I was about to say, in a sense, like our generation paved the way for that scenario, like when it comes to our hairstyles.
That was tough.
Because
we was getting
that's when I had my fro.
Yeah,
and I didn't pick my shit up for nobody.
Stupid,
I didn't stupid, but you used to call it stupid, but I didn't pick it up for nobody. But my mom used to say, you need to do something with your hair, you need to cut your hair, or you're not gonna get the internship.
Yeah.
I was like, well, if a job's not gonna hire me because of my hair, then that's not they shouldn't be hiring me for my skills.
That part.
True. And once I got the internship,
That part.
I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Simple.
they got me for who I am. Like, you're not hiring because of my hair. And I was like, but once again, I think our generation, we did challenge that. Like, I feel like just everywhere, we just challenged that hair stuff.
And
even though we still having challenges with it today, but like,
well, I don't think so.
I think more jobs are more lenient with our hairstyles now.
But I think they passed a law.
So
Like that.
in Texas, they definitely passed.
Yeah, you can't discriminate. Or
you can't discriminate against hair.
Again, well, look, but let's see.
But even then, though, but like we came a far way. But I'm just saying.
But let's be careful. Even though it's a law or a clause,
There's always a way around it.
not even that. Slavery was the law at one point. So it's like, you feel me? So it's like I get it, and I'm glad that happened because it was more so about women's hair. I think they was talking about like dreadlocks and things like that, and like they were trying to get our African American women about keeping their hair, the ones that kept their hair natural and stuff, right? Or why does your hair look like that and all that. So that's kind of how it stemmed from, but still, even though they made the law, man, that's how back in the day slavery was the law. But when you first started, Burnt, you had mentioned your grandpa and some of the influence he had on you.
G-Paw?
G-Paw, I'm sorry. G-Paw, grandpa, granddad.
I was just saying that.
But
It sounds cooler.
But this is what I want you to tell me though too. Since we're in light of the Black History Month, Black History Year, absolutely. Who else would you consider, like a Black influence or role model or mentor? To give me some names or some examples that because we all kind of talked about it just now, leading up to this. So give me some more people that paved the way for you growing up.
A Black mentor?
Mm-hmm. Mentor.
Does it have to be a celebrity?
Black. My own situation got to be Black. A Black influence, mentor, somebody around that part, man. They got to be Black.
Honestly, bro.
It can be 5% Black too.
I mean, honestly, bro. To be honest, again, for me anyway, I feel like
I'm asking you.
In general,
I'm asking you.
You are a product of your environment.
Yeah.
So my role models was definitely my uncles, and my pops was a really good role model, especially when he came into my life and things like that. But as far as just like, that's pretty much it. Because I've never really like looked up to like a celebrity or anything like that. I've never really like idolized anybody. Now I will say, as I am now and growing up and having my babies and things like that, it's just like making sure that I am creating that image of like a family and things like that. So I definitely look up to like guys like LeBron and things like that.
Yeah.
But I would say that's
cool. Yeah.
More so just uncles.
That's interesting you said.
The immediate family like that.
I'll give my answer after you, but that's interesting too when I tell you mine. Who's some of your Black influences or mentors or even some people that you looked up to? Only stipulation I got, make them Black. Whoever influenced you, but Negro, please.
Negro. One influencer, or no, say influencer. I guess he's mentor, whatever. Yeah. He's not my uncle, but like he's an influencer for sure. His name is Reza Islam.
I heard about you. Yeah, talking about him.
He's part of the nation as well, but he just releasing all types of information that you would never know about or think of, and then he like
give the fans a little reference, man. Because I heard you talk about him, but I haven't been tracking it like that.
Is that the guy on Earn Your Leisure or no?
No, that's 19 Keys.
Okay.
But they're part of it, but they're still part of the same nation, right? 19 Keys. And
can you pull a picture up of
Reza? Yeah, can you look up
Reza Islam,
Rizza?
Yeah.
But while he's doing that, give us a little example or.
Just like when it comes to the vaccines, he's been like, you know how I am with the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're gonna say not vaccines. We're gonna say Android 19, Android 17, like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
We're gonna refer to them, Android 19. So
I like that.
when Android 19 was popping, he was releasing all types of information about it, and the government actually put him part of the Dirty Dozen. So the Dirty Dozen was 12 people that was releasing what they called what's it called? Forgot, like false narratives of the code Android 19 and the shots and what happened. And then long story short, they was right. They was right. And Instagram, Facebook, all of them banned them from Facebook.
Go back to that.
Instagram, all that stuff.
He espouses a range of conspiracy theories. That's
but he be proving, he be having documents and all that stuff.
That's funny how they worded that.
Excellent word.
Yeah.
Shout out Steven. I see you, Ronnie.
And he also been like doing all types of good stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen him talk to like that.
Message to the millennials.
I'm interested in that stuff because one in the nation, because I like Farrakhan's like he came to PV a few times. I like his message and how he delivers those messages, and then I can go into my kind of influencers and mentors and whatnot. So growing up, I think starting off with like Malcolm X, reading his autobiography, and there's no shade to this and that, but it was always, you can tell how they pinned the argument of Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X, right? They try to force that upon us. Even Martin Luther King, they don't tell you or you don't really see it as much, but even he went back on his dream. Even he said like,
oh yeah, when he went back.
But you're right.
On his dream.
I didn't mean to tribute. Yeah,
that's when they, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't mean to tribute, but yeah. So everyone knows about Martin Luther King had a dream. Everybody speaks. Everybody.
They don't talk about he regrets that dream.
Yeah, he recanted that dream because it was turned into a nightmare. Because he knew, or it unfolded. But not to spend time on that. Malcolm X, because I was kind of pro and in favor of, okay, give us the same resources, give us the same opportunities, and watch us thrive. You know, let's integrate that way. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different point of view, but reading his story and before it got kind of convoluted as well with the nation, up until that part, I felt like, man, Malcolm X, he was that guy, and I mean, even him, he spoke with some provocative and you know, just determined. So I was like, yeah, that's a brother there I like to follow. Muhammad Ali, kind of the same way, and I know he practiced and started studying and trying to be part of the nation. No, he changed his name, but him turning down the fighting in the war, like, bro, you at the top, you at the peak of your career, 70s, 80s, right? Everybody talk about you. You literally, he was like, damn near Michael Jackson, how the power and control and impact you had, and you made a point. And you was like, nah, I don't care about the money. I don't care about losing my belts. I don't care about any of that. Put me in jail. I'm not going to go fight overseas for the people that don't even look like me. And then this point of, I'm going overseas, I'm going 300,000 miles to fight a war where my war is back at home.
Yep.
I'm going over here with guns and uniforms and BDUs, and I'm fighting women, children, other men that got on sandals, t-shirts. They're not militant. So I'm thinking like, bro, he just made so many great points. And I'm like, so between Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, those are some big names. Or
I would say everybody gotta have their villain, because Malcolm X was definitely considered a villain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and we need a villain in order for us to progress.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
And I say Gaddafi would be one of mine. He's definitely a villain.
So what was Gaddafi's claim? What was his claim to fame then too?
So if I'm not mistaken, he was trying to combine the Middle East and Africa, and then like combined with like the oil and all that stuff, and he had like a shit ton of money. But he did a lot of terroristic acts as well. That's not approved of, but once again, he had to do that to make a name. To, like, you don't get taken serious until you do something crazy. So he did something crazy.
Yeah.
You know, he pressed that 10 button. He found that 10 button when he found out. But in order to do that, he has to make a name. And like, if you just read that and then crazy, like, he had like billions of dollars of money just disappear in there. I think he had a bank with like UK or something like that. But like, anyways, he was trying to, pretty much what just happened, what Africa and China did with BRICS, he was trying to do that back in 2000.
Damn.
like that's what he was trying to do. So
what happened with China and the BRICS? I don't know.
So pretty much,
Put me on game, bro.
They're making not China and Africa, China and Russia. They're forming like they're doing their own currency, BRICS.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Not China and Africa. I meant China and Russia. But China and Russia, they're doing their own thing and like buying their gold and like they're creating their currency.
Trying to fade
away from the USD.
Yeah.
But Gaddafi was trying to do that with the Middle East and Africa, and they shut that shit down immediately.
My boy, shout out to my boy Fonz, man. He be telling me, my bad.
Keep going.
He be telling me since we was in school, man, we need to invest in silver.
Yeah, silver and gold.
He been telling. He been sending me links, bro.
Yeah.
Silver and gold.
I'm really thinking about actually buying silver coins for that.
He sent me a link with the pallets and stuff, man. I'm like, man, I got to.
Yeah.
No,
it's good. But another thing was Gaddafi died in Obama's term. Come to find out, if I'm not mistaken, I got researched this, but I think Obama and Gaddafi was like friends at one point in time before they had to do their little
and then
mission on
back to the very beginning. Hey, if you wanna come up in the ranks, you gotta do something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kill your best friend.
right.
Shit. So that's what it seems like for all of them.
Bro, it's some type of what they say. Some type of all right. Here's my tinfoil hat. It's always some type of sacrifice. Somebody's mom, somebody's son, somebody your kin, and then now you blow up. But I'll leave it there. So take it back off. All right. But Hugh, talk to us, man. Close us out with some questions, man. What you got?
Okay. I got a question for us.
Yeah. See what you got, man. We close it out.
What the piggyback real quick? What you said, like investing in that gold and silver. I've heard that for years.
Yeah, for years, for sure.
So I know I've read.
That's why.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he's a big advocate. What's his name? Kawasaki.
He's around that area. He's around that ballpark. Yeah.
Even platinum, silver, platinum. Yeah, boys.
But like that's why I said I would never buy diamonds. 'Cause I know diamonds is a thing right now, but like at the end of the day, you know.
Offset talked about that on. He just did a podcast.
Bro, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch all of it,
but I would prefer gold and silver over diamonds at the end of the day because if you just go over history. A lot of countries went and war for gold, not no damn diamonds. Diamonds was just the cherry on the cake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's icing on the cake.
Yeah. It's rubies, gold.
Really, what they cared for was gold and silver. That's all they cared for. Oh, that's when you hear this kingdom had this amount of gold, this amount of silver, and then it was the diamonds, and then it was the rubies.
Definitely gold. Think about every cartoon movie.
Yeah, it's gold.
Yeah. Treasure is gold.
You know what I'm saying? When they came over here to conquer America and South America, it was gold. And then they got hit with that sugar cane. But it was, but at the end of the day, it was gold. So.
And the other thing I'll say, he had made a point about like his watches. He used to always buy the not just the Rolexes, but all the diamond,
the bezel and all that.
He was saying he's starting to transition to the plain Janes and the Patek's and stuff, where it's not as diamond, but it's still. It's not as diamond related, but it's either silver or gold.
It's hard to resell.
And then, that was the value. He was saying that some of them watches, the jeweler was talking to him that some of those watches he's buying just less attractive because of the diamonds are more value, like more than real estate value. He was saying. So I was like, oops,
I high-key definitely want a Rollie. I think that's like one of those timepieces. Like I'm saving up all coins to get a nice Rollie.
I mean, I've seen some of the Rollies, but I like I need a style, man. I'm not too much on big names and like, it got to be a Rollie. Yeah. I like, because even this watch, I don't even really know I think it's a Jaguar watch, but I get so many compliments on other like watches I be wearing, skeleton watches and stuff, just because it's either the face or like how it looks. Like a skeleton, I don't know if y'all familiar with skeleton watch, but you can see all the mechanics inside of the ticking and stuff.
Artemis and all that stuff have that.
That's just so cool. But it's not diamonds. Maybe some gold and silver, but
it's just I guess for me anyway. It's not necessarily like the name brands of them. I mean, Rollies in general to me just look like a clean, sophisticated look. And then if I'm going to like I like to have my different forms. Like I got my sports watch, which is my Apple Watch. I got a casual / leisure watch, and then I want like a nice Rollie for like when it's time to like really step out and take the lady or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would say AP, but yeah, definitely Rollie. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not crazy. At least I don't think they are. I think like they got some decent one for like 2,500.
They got some down there. They got some crazy ones.
Yeah. I even do like
Something like that
a
for sure.
Movado or something like that.
Yeah, bro,
like
yeah.
a simplistic Cartier or something like that.
Listen,
Something like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to us, Hube, though.
Yeah, what's
All
the
right,
Talk to
question?
us, Hube.
So my question is, if it's a project. I mean, I feel like we all did this at least one point in time in our careers or jobs, so should I say. Why do you talk differently when you're with your friends or family than you do at work?
That's a good question. Go ahead, bro. Talk that out.
You go first.
You go first. 2 out of 3, stop.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, watch, no shoot.
I'm gonna go.
No shoot.
No shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
All right. No, go.
Just rock, paper, scissors.
Just rock, paper, scissors.
Yes, 2 out of 3.
Absolutely.
Wait, you supposed to call it?
Yeah,
That's one.
ready? Rock.
Wait.
Well, y'all go. What you go?
I definitely was not ready that first
You
time.
got to lose.
I didn't even do
You
two.
got to lose.
Yes, you did.
I didn't do two.
You went just like this.
Bro, Bert be doing that, bro. He
I
knows
know,
what
he
he
do.
doing,
He
bro.
be trying to-
You
he
be
trying to
doing
hesitate.
shit. He be
That's what you know what?
hesitating. He be trying to wait till the last
Okay,
second,
man.
bro.
I'll give you that
You
first
be
one.
playing
That's how you
games.
know you're gonna lose. Come on.
Rock, paper.
You see, he can't be saying it.
No,
You can't say it, though.
You can't say it.
Bert,
You can't say
you
it.
say it.
No, I'm
You ready?
Yeah.
Yes, it's us two. You ready?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
See, you look
That's
at
right.
You be playing. You be playing, Bert. You know
Yeah, but you did. I said rock,
He
paper,
waited,
scissors,
yeah.
and you stayed up
I
here.
didn't do that.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did. I'm done. Nah, I ain't
No,
gonna
come on.
They saw it.
One more time, one more time,
You
one
got
more
an
time.
answer. I won because he cheating, bro.
Okay, yeah, you
gotta
cheating.
go
Come
first,
on.
bro. You tweeting.
Come on.
Boy, every
They
time.
see-
Let's just
You be cheating, bro.
Rock, paper, scissors.
cheating.
Come on now.
Anyways, I will, because I'm a fair and just man, I will go first.
Oh man, I appreciate it. So grateful.
It's okay. Let's
That
go
was
on
cheating
these
ass.
two. I didn't forgot the question now.
Oh, he can repeat it. It's all right.
I can repeat it. Why do you talk differently when you're with your friends or family than you do at work?
Oh, that's a good question. Since you lost,
That's so bogus. Nah, because I'm a fair and just man, I'm going to say this, but basically, so it's relatability for me. Like, so basically, when like I'm in my different peer groups, whether it be work, whether it be family, whether it be friends, I just have different lingos where it's just like that's what I relate to with that person. So if I say that hoe over there, then all my niggas will know. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. But if I'm with a different peer group, I wouldn't definitely say that. So yeah, it's more like relatability for me. It's just like, you know, what we've been through to be like, oh, we have this common term where we remember this reminiscently and then go forward from there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Tell your boss that, like, what are you gonna hold, sir? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, not facts.
Let me tell my boss that it should be funny.
Look, I want to still answer, but relatability is good. So I like that as well. Also, I think about it like even like having your core group and then like your work group. It's like still a professional setting.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still a job function, a somewhere where you go as a career, or like, you know, it's a different atmosphere where you're lax or you know, informal, so to speak. So I still do this on purpose, just to, you know, kind of like iron sharpens iron, right? So to make sure I'm able to still, okay, I'm in a professional setting, you know, where it's, you know, whatever the vibe is, okay, this is how I need to behave, respond, you know, react or whatnot. And of course, if we're hanging out casual, it's like, hey man, we already know each other, we're comfortable, we can slouch, so to speak, right? Because it's almost the same thing like if you have like a work relationship, right? Say you and your girl, whatever, y'all work together, or I don't know, how some y'all may meet at the job. You can't be making out at work. Sure, it's your girl. Sure, y'all love each other. Even if you're married, it's like, nah, man, we're at work. This is a professional setting. Sure, you gotta do that at home, where it's either private or more of a, hey, this is a different setting where, you know, we can't, you know, display that. So I kind of feel the same when you talking about your friends, because it's just, yeah, you're casual, you're more lax. Think about it. First of all, we all work the same job. Depends on what the job is.
Yeah.
But, man, we'll get some shit done.
Yeah.
But, man, it ain't gonna be by the book. It's gonna be
The managers and boss will know these three can't work with each other.
Yeah, in fact, like independently,
independently
they strong. Just have them boost somebody else, but
Yeah.
together they make us look so crazy. And then again, it's all about nowadays perception.
True.
So like we talked about at the very beginning of the show, not what's on the outside, but on the inside. So it's more like, hey, how do you perceive yourself, or how is this man or this woman in the work environment versus at home or whatnot. So again, I co-sign relatability, but also just the separating the two dynamics, separating the two universes, so to speak, right?
Right.
What's your take?
But what about your parents though?
Oh yeah, your parents too. So I mean, to be real with you, yeah, because
So I see there's a lot of people who have like who can talk to their mom or dad like their friends.
It's just, I feel like the same still because now it's not a workplace, but it's like it's the same. Okay, here's a good example. Growing up in my household, like dad was military, military mind, drill sergeant type, all that jazz. I'm not supposed to have my ears pierced. He don't like that. May or may not even know.
When did your ears pierced? High school?
College. So I got college. I'm a grown man. College. Hey, that's the adult look. So, but it's a respect thing.
Right.
To this day, when I go home, I don't wear my earring. I don't.
To this day?
To this day, I go home because it's his house, right? It's where I was raised. These are necessarily the rules or just like the structure. So it's not a professional, but that's like, okay. Like, you're not supposed to curse sometimes in your household, right?
I don't curse at home.
Right, I don't either.
I don't
cursing at home. Say for drinking or drugs. Some people don't like drinking. Can't drink at home or at your house though. At the house? To the glitch? Absolutely. But still.
You drink with your...
I do. I drink with my pops. Oh, yeah.
That's something as I've gotten older though. In the beginning, we definitely was not...
Oh, yeah, we weren't on those terms. But see, and that's another thing too. I mean, I heard it somewhere, but like growing up, I forgot what video I was listening to, but they were saying like as a parent, there's different stages of your kid's life. Where you can't be a friend when they're a baby.
No way.
You can't be their coach, or you can't be like their... No, you can be their friend when they're a baby, but you can't be their friend when they're an adult or something. Like there's different stages of being like a friend, a mentor, and an actual like give you direction, a guide. Because once you're an adult, you can't be... That's why you don't get spankings when you're 18, 17, whatever it is, right? It's like, that ain't really gonna do much for you besides run you off or do your own thing. So you can't really discipline them that way, or that child that way. You gotta just kind of different way. You guys just gotta talk to them, and then think about how I'm pretty much. I know for me, but I know we talked about. But think about how powerful from getting spankings to somebody saying I'm disappointed in you, or that I was really disappointed in your actions, or something like that. As an adult, but now if you're a baby, you hollering somebody, you don't even know what they mean by saying disappointed, but you got to get a spanking, right? Or even if you're like a teenager, you got to kind of get the hybrid. But I think that's a good scenario too, as far as the parent take of it, because I respect that rule, the rules, the culture, how that paradigm is. And again, depending on, cursing, I don't even play loud music in the house. Shit. Right. It's just different.
There's a couple of layers too, the parents versus the home versus your house with the lady, your chick versus the homies, your work homies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like different variations of the language.
And I don't like how people they try to get to the border and say like, oh, you just faking it then. You fake at home and at work. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to call it fake because it's just the setting you're in. Because even if you're you're in a new environment, you're meeting new people. You're not just gonna run up to everybody, what's up, my nigga, start cussing at them or these bitches wilding. Like, nah, what you mean? Like, that's not right to say. Right. That's not attractive to say. That's not, you ain't gonna get anywhere with that. And then I'm not also saying you need to walk around with your resume in the club, like, hey, here's my resume. Can I get a drink or something like that?
No, but to back you on that, like how I like to explain to people, if you go to like Pluckers or Buffalo Wild Wings, you got mild sauce, hot sauce, and extremely hot. They're all the same thing, but just different flavors. Yeah. So I know who to give different flavors or type of degrees to each person. So like I know this person, they can handle my mild, but when I'm around y'all gonna get the extreme blazing hot because y'all know who I am. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good analogy.
And then this person right here just basically get a little bit of hot,
But spice.
Right, yeah. So that's how I look at it. It's just,
hey, I just want to say now, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Look, we'll try to make this like our Black History Month, but again, remember, Black History Month is all 12 months, 365, 24/7.
Yes, sir.
I am a black man, and these are my brothers from Anotha Motha.